On a bright, sunny afternoon, the peaceful neighborhood was filled with the gentle sounds of birds singing and leaves rustling in the breeze. Sunny, a lively little puppy with soft golden fur that shimmered like morning sunshine, was enjoying one of their favorite daily walks with their owner. The park was a familiar place, full of the scents and sounds that made Sunny's tail wag with excitement. Every tree, every patch of grass, seemed to hold a new adventure waiting to be discovered. As they wandered along the winding path, Sunny sniffed at the flowers and chased a few fluttering butterflies, full of playful energy. But then, something unusual caught Sunny's attention. Just beyond a cluster of bushes near the edge of the park, another dog was sitting quietly, looking a bit lost and unsure. What made this stranger so surprising was how much it looked exactly like Sunny. The same fluffy golden coat, the same bright, curious eyes, even the way it held its head tilted to the side in quiet wonder was a perfect match. Sunny's owner felt a strange mix of curiosity and concern. The dog seemed friendly but also tired and alone, as if it had been wandering the streets without a home for some time. Carefully they approached the dog, who didn't shy away but instead wagged its tail slowly, as if relieved to see a kind face. It was almost as if the two dogs recognized each other, like long-lost friends reunited by chance. Without much hesitation, the owner decided to bring the stray dog home. There was a hope that perhaps they could find the dog's family or at least give it a safe place to stay until someone came forward. The stray followed quietly, trusting and gentle, as if it belonged there already. But even in the comfort of the warm home, the mystery only deepened. How could two dogs look so much alike and yet be strangers? As the days went by, Sunny and the new dog spent more time together. They explored the yard side by side, chased each other around in playful games, and often lay curled up close for naps. The owner watched them with wonder, noticing every little shared habit, from the way they tilted their heads when curious, to how they tilted their ears when listening to sounds far away. It was like looking into a mirror, yet the stranger dog had a quiet sadness hidden beneath its cheerful playfulness. The owner's mind was filled with questions. Where had this dog come from? Why was it alone and lost? And most puzzling of all, how was it possible for two dogs to be so identical? The neighborhood was asked, flyers were posted, and local shelters were contacted, but no one claimed the stray. Days stretched into a week, and still, the mystery remained unsolved. Yet something about the stray dog seemed to bring a new joy and hope into the home. Sunny, who had always been the center of attention, now had a companion that made each day more lively and bright. Their bond grew stronger, even without words or explanations. It was clear this was no ordinary meeting. It felt like fate had brought them together for a reason. But what that reason was, no one could say just yet. The quiet evenings were filled with the soft sound of paws padding on wooden floors, and the gentle breathing of two puppies resting close, as if sharing a secret only they understood. Outside, the world moved on, unaware of the small mystery unfolding inside this cozy house. The owner, watching over the two golden fur balls, felt a strange mixture of hope and wonder, waiting for the day when the truth would finally be revealed. Until then, the stray was not just a lost dog, they were a new member of the family, a puzzle piece waiting to fit into a much larger picture. As the days passed, the two golden puppies quickly became inseparable companions. They moved through the house like shadows of each other, their movements perfectly synchronized as if they shared one mind. Whether chasing a ball, exploring the backyard, or simply lounging in a patch of sunlight, the resemblance between them was striking. The owner watched with amazement as the stray, now given a temporary name, mirrored Sunny's every action. They ate at the same time, drank from the same bowl, and even seemed to share the same little quirks that made Sunny so endearing. It was as if the stray had always belonged there, as though their meeting was not a random accident but a reunion long destined to happen. The owner often found themselves smiling at the sight of the two puppies curled up together in the evenings. Their golden fur blended into a single, soft mass of warmth and comfort. They would fall asleep side by side, breathing in unison, their small bodies rising and falling like gentle waves. It was a heartwarming sight, but also one filled with mystery. Despite the comfort of their new home, the stranger dog seemed to carry a quiet sadness, a feeling that something was missing. The owner could sense this, even though the stray showed no signs of fear or aggression. It was as if the dog was waiting for something or someone to come and complete the picture. No one came to claim the stray, despite flyers being posted around the neighborhood and messages shared on local social media groups. The owner was beginning to realize that this dog might have been lost or abandoned for a long time. It was heartbreaking to think about the possibility that this beautiful creature had been alone and scared before finding its way to their home. But the owner's heart grew even stronger with the desire to give the stray a safe place, and to find out more about where it had come from. The more time the two dogs spent together, the more obvious their similarities became. They had the same shiny coat that glowed in the sunlight, the same curious eyes that sparkled with intelligence, and even the same unique markings that made each one special. But it wasn't just their appearance that was alike. Their personalities seemed to echo each other too. Both were gentle but playful, brave but cautious, loving but independent. It was rare to see such a perfect match outside of twins or siblings. This made the owner's curiosity grow even stronger, and every moment was filled with questions that begged for answers. The owner began to wonder if the stray could be related to Sunny in some way. Perhaps they were siblings separated by chance, or maybe the stray was somehow connected to Sunny's past. The idea felt both thrilling and overwhelming. What if this was the missing piece of a bigger story that had yet to be told? The mystery hung in the air, thick and quiet, waiting patiently to be unraveled. Even though the stray had not yet found its original family, the owner and Sunny had opened their hearts to this new friend. They shared the same space, the same routines, and slowly but surely, the stray began to trust and feel safe. The house felt fuller now, not just with two dogs but with hope and the promise of new beginnings. The owner knew that this was only the start of a journey, one filled with unexpected discoveries and a bond that went beyond appearances. Every day brought a new moment of wonder, a new reason to believe that sometimes life's greatest surprises come in the form of a furry friend who just might be family. The mystery of the stray dog's identity grew deeper with each passing day. Determined to uncover the truth, the owner began to search for clues about where this look-alike puppy might have come from. It was clear now that the dog wasn't just a random stray. It seemed to share more than just a striking appearance with Sunny. The question remained, what connection did they have, and why had no one come forward to claim the lost dog? The owner started by checking local animal shelters and rescue groups, hoping to find some information. Shelter workers were kind and helpful, sharing details about recent lost dogs and missing puppies in the area. One name kept appearing in reports, a litter of golden puppies that had been taken in by a nearby shelter months ago but had mysteriously disappeared without explanation. The shelter had put out notices and posted flyers, but no one had found or claimed the puppies. It was a heartbreaking story, and the owner couldn't help but feel a flicker of hope that the stray might be connected to this missing litter. Next, the owner turned to online communities. Social media groups for lost and found pets, neighborhood forums, and local message boards were scanned carefully. People had shared photos of lost puppies matching the description of the stray, some with hopeful notes about finding their way home. The owner saved every picture and compared them side by side with the stray's image, noticing subtle details, the way their fur curled in a certain way, tiny spots of color that were unique to their coats. It was like piecing together a puzzle, each clue bringing the owner closer to a hidden truth. The owner also reached out to neighbors, asking if anyone had seen puppies matching the description or if they knew anything about missing dogs in the area. Some neighbors remembered seeing a group of golden puppies playing near an old barn a few months ago, but after that, the puppies seemed to vanish. It was as if they had slipped through the cracks, lost in the busy world without anyone realizing what had happened. This only made the owner more determined to find answers. Despite these efforts, the stray dog showed no signs of fear or aggression when around other animals and people. This suggested it had been socialized at some point, cared for by someone before becoming lost. The owner wondered if the stray had been separated from its family by accident or if something more complicated had happened. The uncertainty weighed heavily on their mind. Yet, through the growing mystery, the bond between Sunny and the stray grew stronger. The owner noticed how the two puppies seemed to understand each other in ways beyond words. They comforted one another, played with gentle enthusiasm, and offered companionship that no one else could replace. It was clear that whatever had torn them apart before, fate had now brought them together again. With each new day, the owner felt closer to the truth but knew the story was far from over. The missing litter, the mysterious disappearance, and the identical stray all pointed to a hidden chapter waiting to be uncovered. The owner vowed to keep searching, following every lead, no matter how small, hoping to unlock the secret behind the stranger's past. What began as a simple walk in the park had grown into a heartwarming journey filled with hope, mystery, and the promise of family reunited. The search for answers was not just about finding the stray's origins, it was about giving both puppies the chance to belong, to feel safe, and to heal from whatever had separated them. The owner held on to the belief that soon, all pieces would fall into place, revealing a truth more surprising than anyone could imagine. One gloomy, rain-soaked afternoon, as the owner gently brushed the stray dog's golden fur by the window, something unexpected caught their eye. A tiny mark, almost hidden beneath a patch of fur behind the dog's ear, shimmered faintly in the dim light. Curious, the owner carefully parted the fur to reveal a small tattoo, an identification mark that shelters often use to track lost or abandoned animals. It was a subtle code, barely noticeable to most, but for someone who had been searching for answers, it was a beacon of hope. This discovery changed everything. The tattoo proved that the stray was not just a random lost dog wandering the streets. It was part of a carefully recorded group of puppies once held in the local shelter. The owner felt a rush of excitement mixed with relief. Finally, there was a solid clue to follow, a tangible connection to the stray's mysterious past. It was as if a hidden door had been unlocked, revealing a path that had long been obscured. The owner immediately contacted the shelter, describing the tattoo and sharing photos of the stray. Shelter staff confirmed that the mark was indeed theirs, used specifically for identifying a litter of golden puppies that had been reported missing several months earlier. This litter was the same one the owner had been investigating for weeks, the very litter that had disappeared under strange circumstances. The stray was no longer just a look-alike, it was one of those lost puppies, separated from its siblings and previous life. The owner's heart swelled with a mixture of joy and sadness. Joy because the mystery was finally beginning to unravel, but sadness for the time the puppies had spent apart, lost and alone. The thought of what the stray and its siblings had endured before this moment was painful, but knowing the truth was a step toward healing. This new information also explained why the stray and Sunny were so remarkably similar. They were not just two golden puppies. They were siblings, born from the same mother, sharing the same early memories even if they had never met before. With this breakthrough, the owner felt a renewed determination to bring the family back together. They worked closely with the shelter, tracing records and reaching out to previous foster families and volunteers who might have had contact with the missing puppies. Slowly, the pieces of the puzzle started to come together. The shelter confirmed that other puppies from the litter had been found in different places, but not all had been reunited yet. It was a complicated and emotional process, but the owner knew it was worth every effort. Meanwhile, the bond between Sunny and the stray grew deeper. No longer just companions, they were family, siblings reunited by chance and circumstance. Their playful games carried a new meaning, a silent celebration of belonging and shared history. The owner noticed how the stray seemed more relaxed and happy now, as if sensing the truth about its place in the world. The sadness that once lingered quietly in its eyes began to fade, replaced by a spark of hope. This moment marked a turning point in the story, a shift from mystery and searching to healing and reunion. The stray's hidden tattoo was the key that unlocked a secret past and opened the door to a future filled with love and family. What had once seemed like an impossible coincidence was now a beautiful truth. Two puppies separated by fate, brought back together by hope, care, and the unbreakable bond of family. The owner's heart was full, but the journey was not yet over. There were still siblings to find and reunite, but the hardest step had been taken. With every paw step beside Sunny, the stray moved closer to home, and the story of lost puppies began to transform into a tale of love, discovery, and new beginnings. The moment the stray's identity was confirmed, everything began to fall into place like the final pieces of a long and puzzling story. The shelter, now aware of the successful reunion of two of the missing siblings, joined the effort to locate the rest of the litter. It was a task filled with uncertainty, as the trail had gone cold for months. Still, hope had been reignited, and with it came a growing network of people determined to bring the separated puppies back together. The owner shared the story online, accompanied by photos of Sunny and the newly named sibling, Lucky. The post spread quickly, drawing attention from other dog lovers and families who had also adopted golden puppies from that same missing litter. Slowly, responses began to pour in. One by one, other siblings were identified, some living in nearby towns, others farther away. Some had been found wandering and taken in by kind strangers, just like Lucky. Each discovery brought more joy, more emotion, and more meaning to the journey that had started with a single walk in the park. When the first sibling arrived for a visit, The moment was almost magical. There was no hesitation, just tails wagging furiously, happy whimpers, and a sense of instant connection. Sunny, Lucky, and their long-lost brother circled one another with excitement, as if recognizing something deep within that went beyond memory. Their play was full of energy and familiarity, their bond undeniable. The owner watched in awe, heart full, realizing just how special and rare this reunion truly was. As more of the siblings were found, gatherings were organized where the puppies could reunite, play, and reconnect. Though each had lived different lives and faced their own struggles, they all shared the same origin, the same beginning that had once been lost to time. Now, that lost history was being rewritten with laughter, playfulness, and healing. Back at home, Sunny and Lucky were thriving. Their connection had grown even stronger, shaped now not just by companionship but by shared identity. They weren't just best friends, they were family. They moved together like halves of a whole, comforted by each other's presence. What had begun as a surprising encounter in the park had turned into something far more meaningful, a story of rediscovery, love, and belonging. The owner often reflected on the incredible journey, from the first moment Sunny spotted a lonely figure beneath the trees to the revelation of the tattoo, and now to the growing group of golden siblings once separated by circumstance. It was a story that had touched many hearts and reminded everyone who heard it that family can be found in the most unexpected ways. And though some of the siblings might remain apart due to distance or adoption situations, the bond they shared would always connect them. The journey had changed not only the lives of the dogs but the people who had opened their homes and hearts to them. What began with a lost puppy had become a powerful story of reunion and hope, one that would live on in wagging tails, joyful barks, and golden fur curled up side by side at the end of the day. Sunny and Lucky now ran through life as they were meant to, together.